Very good morning, students. In first chapter of business studies, we have started first topic history of trade and commerce. And in this topic, we have completed first 4 points. Today I am going to explain next two, that is trading communities and merchant corporations. We will start with first one, that is trading communities. In different parts of country, different communities dominated trade. Some communities were dominating trade in some areas. Yes, like first in northern region, Punjabi and Multani merchants handled business. If we talk about north area, who were dominating business or trading activity, Punjabi and Multanis. Those merchants were dominating trade. Second, in Western India, Mahajans were managing trade. If we talk about Western area, so Mahajans were dominating trade. They were managing trading activity. Then third, from South, Chettiars were important traders. In South, Chettiars were dominating trade. They were specially in state of Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Then fourth, in state of Gujarat and Rajasthan, Buds were managing trade. Then fifth, in urban centers such as Ahmedabad, Mahajan communities represented their chief. Those were called Nagar Seths. Yes, so some urban centers, urban areas, Mahajan communities were dominating trade, and the chief of Mahajan communities were called Nagar Seths. Some other groups were active in some areas, some urban areas like Hakim and Ved. They were working as physicians. Then Vakil, those were working as lawyer. Pandit and Mullahs, they were working as teachers. Some others were there like painters, musicians, calligraphers, etc. Thus, such communities dominated trade in some parts of India. They were managing trade. Now, the second topic is merchant corporations. Merchant community also derived power and prestige from guild, and guild was autonomous corporation formed to protect the interest of traders. For the protection of the interest of traders, some corporations were formed. From guild, merchant communities got their power and prestige. Now, such corporations were framing their own rules and regulations for membership. Those who want to be member of such corporations, they have to follow rules and regulations. Those corporations were giving some code of conducts, which even kings were supposed to accept and respect. Some code of conduct laid down by some corporations were accepted by king also. Now we will study some sources of revenue. The first one is traders had to pay octroi duty on imported goods. Trade and industry taxes were also a major source of revenue. Now first we will understand what is octroi duty. Octroi is a duty levied in some countries on various goods entering a town or city. If we want to bring some goods or commodity in our town or city, the traders have to pay octroi duty on that. So this was one of from sources of income, but now it doesn't exist. Such meanings of some taxes or some terms I have mentioned with blue ink. You don't have to write that in your notebook. That is just for explanation purpose. Then second, custom duties varied according to commodities. Tariffs varied from province to province. Now, custom duty is a tax imposed on import and export of goods. Those who were trading with other countries, those who were in international trade, yes, for import and export, they have to pay custom duty on such commodities, and that were varied from commodities to commodities. Same tariff, that was tax, same as custom duty, that was varied from location to location, province to province. Then third, the ferry tax. Ferry tax was another source of income generation. It had to be paid for passengers, goods, cattle, and carts. A boat or ship for taking passengers, vehicles, or live assets, animals across an area of water, they have to pay ferry tax. So these were some sources of revenue. Local bodies used to receive such tax. The guild, head of Mahajans, used to deal directly with king or tax collectors and settle the market toll on behalf of all merchants. Now, the guild was directly connected with tax collectors and king, and they were managing the market toll tax on behalf of all merchants. The guild merchants also acted as custodian of religious interest. They undertook the task of building temples and made donation by levying tax on their merchants. Now, by collecting tax from merchants, they were acting as custodian of religious interest. Yes, so from those donation which they were collecting by imposing tax on their merchants, they were building temples. Due to commercial activities, big merchants gained power in society. Now, just because of those all commercial activities, big merchants got their power and prestige in society. I hope both topics are clear to you. If you have any doubt, you can contact me.